Good afternoon, my rolling mat community. So today we are working into more flexibility with wild thing. So coming from downward dog, this is oftentimes a little bit of an intimidating pose. It's used in a lot of flow classes, but it's very refreshing and really amazing once you figure out some of the foundations of the pose. So just take it at your pace, revisit this video as needed. We'll come to a seat. Hope everyone's doing well. So just center in here. You can sit on the heels if you'd like to. So a big thing and wild thing is the hands and the wrists. So we'll just roll out the wrists, shake out the hands, whatever you need to do, one direction and then the other. Shaking it out. Connecting to the breath. Take your arms out to your side, open up through the chest. Go ahead, warm that up. And then interlace the hands in behind the back, gently pull down. You can drop your ear, the head to one side and then the other. So one ear to one shoulder, opposite ear to the other shoulder. And then drop the neck down if you'd like, chin towards the chest. And release, we're gonna find tabletop. Really root it down through the hands. And start to shift forward and feel the weight distribution as it shifts around in the hands. So from the wrists to the tips of the fingertips. Really feeling into it. Start to feel the action through the forearms. So just warming up into the wrists a little bit. And then find your center, and then maybe you flip your fingertips to face the top thighs. And get a nice stretch as you sit towards the heels, not onto the heels, but towards the heels, feeling a nice stretch in the bottom side of that forearm. Continue with your breath. This is intense. And then bring your hands back to normal. So from here, we're just going to shift about a couple more times. Really warming up through the fingertips, through the hands, finding the earth. And then lower down through a modified little chaturanga push-up here. So bringing elbows really close into sides, chin comes down towards the floor, firing up through the backs of the triceps, gripping into mat with fingertips. Find your center here in a little bit, a couple more rounds. And then loop it back as you lower down for a nice cobra pose, shine the heart forward. Third eye center comes back down to the earth, pressing it up through table. And then go ahead, shift it back into your downward facing dog. So pedal out through the legs if you need to. Find that downward dog, really nice and rooted through the hands. Lengthening through the spine. And then shift it forward into plank and back to down dog. Pull up through the core, bringing it into plank. So really firing up through the upper body today. Definitely needed for our wild thing posture, I can't talk today. Shift it back, downward facing dog. Plank pose. Taking breaks when you need to. And lower knees, chest, chin if you'd like. Or chaturanga to up dog. So either coming into cobra or up dog. Inhale, exhale, rain it down. Inhale, press it up, pull the belly button back to spine, tuck toes. Shift the glutes up towards the ceiling or sky, wherever you may be. Find that down dog. We're going to lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. And we'll bend the knee and open the hip, just as we did in one of the first videos of the month. So notice what goes on in the shoulders. Try to keep the shoulders nice and square. Balance the weight distribution in the hands. Now you can stay here and work here if you'd like to, really bringing that knee up towards the ceiling. And then plant the feet, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Really bringing that knee up towards the ceiling, feeling a nice lengthening through the hip flexor, getting it nice and warm. And then square the hips, float that foot back down, pedal it out. Shift it forward through plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale for your upward facing dog or cobra. Shine heart forward. Soften. Third eye center down towards the floor, pressing it up. And sit it back into a child's pose. Roll out the wrists here, my friends. So take some pressure out of the hands. You can make fists with the fingers opening and closing. Getting ready to fire it up just a little bit more for just a few minutes. Bring it up through tabletop. Find your plank, shift it back, downward dog. Here we go. Right leg flies high, three-legged dog, bend the knee, open that hip. Staying here, if you'd like to, really lengthen through, or we're gonna start to soften into that left knee. Left foot comes parallel to the back edge of the mat, drop the right foot right in behind you, lift the left arm up, and then straighten that left leg. Right arm or right leg is bent. And then you can drop that right arm in behind your head if you'd like to for a little bit more of a back release, a little bit more of a heart and chest opener. Breathe. To come out, soften into both knees, send it back into three-legged dog with the right leg high. Downward facing dog. This is your wild thing. Shift it forward through plank. Your vinyasa on your time, on your breath. Maybe you're feeling warm in the shoulders and you pop it up into an up dog this time. Send it back. We will arrive in downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg flies high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Really find length, really find space. And then soften that right knee, parallel the right foot, and then drop the left foot in behind, coming to the toes, and then lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, straighten through the right leg, keep the left leg bent, and then you have the choice, keep the fingertips up to the ceiling or drop the arm in behind the head. A little bit more of a back bend, full release on that spine. So this posture feels really good once you get the hang of it. Breathe. Softly come back to three-legged dog and then downward facing dog. Push the earth away, lengthen through the spine, shifting it forward, lowering down through maybe chaturanga if you're feeling it, upward dog, downward facing dog. And we soften to the knees, sending the glutes back to the heels, lifting up through the torso, feeling the heat. So float the palms up towards the ceiling, rest the backs of hands on tops of thighs, feel that energy. Let it run through your fingertips, through your hands, through your arms. Soothe with the breath. Nice roll outs with the wrists if you'd like to. Shake the hands. And then we'll gently come to a seat. Continuing to connect to that wonderful energy. Inhale, arms up overhead, pressing the fingertips together. Bring the thumbs to the third eye center. Bring the thumbs down to the lips. And then bring that positive energy into your heart space. Gently taking a bow of gratitude with the chin down towards the chest. Ask any questions, revisit this video as often as you need to. Namaste, my friends.